the Wisconsin and Miami of Ohio team. I mean, this is a Miami team, correct me if I'm wrong, they lost all 11 offensive starters. They only have 3 defensive starters, but it's a brand new team. This is crazy. Wisconsin, I know they got that new transfer quarterback from Maryland. They are returning some offensive linemen. I was reading that the history is terrible for Miami when they face out of conference opponents early in the season. Like they beat like one of them in the last like 20 years. What's your take on this game here? This has got to be a tough one to handicap. I mean, how can you possibly predict what we're going to get from Miami in this one?
Well, I'm going to try. I think that's why you're having me on. So hopefully we all learn a little something. I have hung out at both of these campuses, by the way, in a long time ago. Both fun places, Madison, Wisconsin, and Oxford, Ohio, if you ever had a chance. But let's tell you what's going to happen. Let me tell you what's going to happen in the football game here. Wisconsin, what do you need to know? 22-year bowl streak was snapped last season, Andy. They finished just 5-7 straight up, improving on that win total here in 2025. Going to be pretty tough. Why? Because the Badgers face arguably the toughest schedule in the entire country this year. They draw 8 of the top 11 teams in the Big Ten. Yes, let me repeat that. 8 of the top 11 teams in the Big Ten, which is an 18-team conference. College football has some trouble with math. That's okay. But they also face Alabama in the non-con. Why do I bring that up? Well, I think it's pretty imperative for Luke Fickell to have a strong start these first 2 games, which are against Miami of Ohio, more on them in just a second, and then Middle Tennessee next week. Because if they want to get back to a bowl this year, they've got to – you would expect they're going to win regardless these first 2 weeks. But I think in terms of building confidence for the rest of the season, Andy, they need to look good. So you mentioned some of the history here and how it is not exactly smiling on Miami of Ohio. More often than not, they take their lumps in the non-conference portion of the schedule before ramping up and competing for a MAC title. I know the MAC well. I went to a MAC school. Miami's just 12-30 straight up under Chuck Martin against non-conference opponents. On top of that, how about 0-8 against the number, their last 8 road openers? And this one figures to go pretty poorly because Wisconsin, as you'd expect, has had the max number, 23-0 straight up the last 23 games against MAC opponents. They've covered 15 of those 23. So the question is, you mentioned the big number here. Can Wisconsin cover it? It's very interesting. We have a 17.5-point favorite here. Let's not bury the total, Andy, as well. A total of 39.5. So we have a 17.5-point favorite and a total of 39.5. My view, Badgers probably going to win pretty big here. Again, I think it's really important for that for a strong start, build confidence for the rest of the season, given the schedule that awaits. You referenced this, Andy, at the top of the breakdown. I like what Fickell did in the transfer portal. The team got a lot stronger in the trenches on both sides of the ball. That Phil Longo hire, when they brought him in, that was a kid. Nobody wants to run an air raid in Madison, Wisconsin. That was a curious hire. So I'm glad he's out of there. I think in Madison, they're glad he's out of there. We're going to see a return, I think, to a traditional style of Wisconsin football. And then you mentioned it, Miami, Ohio, losing all 11 starters from last year on the offensive side of the ball makes it pretty tough sledding for game 1. I would play Wisconsin both first half and full game here. I think they run away from them pretty quickly and then hold on for a big win, maybe about 2% on each.
You can tell us about the Blitz one more time. It's live. It's interactive. You guys go on there and ask as many questions as you want about the college football slate. One more time, tell us about the Blitz and tell them what you have up for $5 Tuesday.
Yeah, we're going to start with the biggest games, obviously, such as Texas, Ohio State. But any game you want to know about, jump in there, 1 p.m. Eastern, like Andy just said, immediately following Wager Talk today on Thursday. So Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern. Get those questions ready. We'll talk Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, even TCU, North Carolina on Monday, if you are so inclined. Gave you a lot of great information on the program last week. I know that I did, unfortunately, get my big play wrong over the weekend on Kansas State. I thought they outplayed Iowa State for the record, but no one cares because they lost the game. But every other game, I think I was right on the show that we talked about. So tune in again.